friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing tonight or today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. This is my Tuesday tassel video for this week. And last week that I made was my first week doing the Tuesday tassel with Jovi, she's creating with Jovi. And thank you, Jovi, for letting me join in. And so last week was a Halloween tassel that I created, and so this week is going to be a fall tassel. Figure before fall is over, I go ahead and create a fall tassel. So I've cut all my strings here, or my strands, and I wanted to show you. I kind of want to put them in a different order, so I was going to show you, you know, as I'm putting them in the order I want. I was going to show you also what I used. So this is some. I'll show you right here. This is some fabric ribbon that I picked up at a thrift store, and it's very fall looking and patchwork looking, so I thought that would be pretty in a fall tassel. But what I did was cut it in half and made like thinner ribbon out of it. So I've got a couple of those, and I want to rearrange them here because I don't want them to be all in the same, like I don't want those to be in the same space, or, you know, I want things to be going in different directions so that you have, you know, you can turn the tassel around and everything is going, you know, in different directions, and everything the same is not clumped together in one spot. So I'm going to spread these apart a little bit, and then we're going to put them together. So I've got a bunch of this fabric. This is the fabric that I received from Jovi in Happy Mail, and I've torn some strips this week. Last week I cut all my strips because I didn't think that whatever the fabric I used, I didn't think it would tear. So this is some, like, it looks like homespun, and I think the name of it was homespun, but it's a little like green and white gingham look. So I'm going to put, I think, one of those on each side and a couple in the middle here. Let's see, we'll put one on top, and let's see, do I have any more? Okay, that was it on that. Here's my beads for this week. I used my wood beads again on some natural cord, and this natural cord is brown to go with the fall theme. So that's going to go right there. Here's, let's see, I've got two greens here. Let me pick these up so I can kind of just bring them over as I'm arranging. I'm going to put this one underneath here, and then this is another green one I'm going to put on top. So let's put in some more of our fabric. And I just want to see how this comes out if I actually arrange it in some type of order, right? So here we go. Let's see, let's put a green. I've got one green in each section now. So I'm going to go ahead and add another green. Well, don't add the green yet. Well, that's not a green. This is a spotted orange, brown, and yellow ribbon. So let's go ahead and put one of those here. One of those over here on this side. I think I want to turn some of these around so that when I fold it in half, let's see, when I fold it in half, how will it be? Okay, see. Yeah, I think I want it to be like that. Okay, so I am going to face them up. And then I've got some eyelash trim, which is very, these two strands were together in the eyelash trim. And I've seen this called I've seen this kind of like yarn called different things. So the last name, when I bought some, it was called Mosaic yarn. So I'm going to call it Mosaic yarn. And then it's got this natural colored eyelash trim. And that was all in one strand, which I received in Happy Mail, actually. So here it is, more still together. So I'm going to keep it together there. Put one on each side. And so let's add some more of fabric. That was my main you know, kind of trim or strand that I was using in this. Let's add another eyelash trim to the middle section here. And let's see what else I have. I need another I used up all of this eyelash trim pretty much, so Got quite a bit of that. Let's put another one in the, let's put one on the side. Okay, now some more fabric, maybe on the outside, very outside on both sides, and fill in the middle here. And then, okay, there we go. Now the last couple of things, or the last thing, no, last couple of things. This is another strand of the natural cord on, and this one I have buttons. So I put all different color buttons that would match my trims here. I've got yellow, I've got a metal, kind of bronzy metal. I've got another tan and kind of creamy colored, a green. And you can see there's some like burgundy type down here and another yellow. So let's put that, I kind of would like that on the outside. So let's see, there's my beads on this side. So I'm going to put the buttons over here. See how that comes out. I want it on the outside though, so I'm going to put it on the very outside. I think I'll put see if I can, no, don't know if I can move the beads now. They're all tangled up. Yeah, let's put those on the outside. I want to see how that comes out. Put them on the very outside. Okay, now what do I have left? One more green, so let's put that right here in the middle. All right, and I think that is everything. So now I'm going to put it together with my little, I used this last week too, a little notebook ring that, you know, you can open up. And I'm just going to kind of gather this in the middle. And let's see. Now I didn't tie a knot under any of my beads or buttons because they don't move around on these particular ones, don't move around on my natural cord. And so it's kind of nice, like you can actually move them around whenever you want to, depending on what you're doing with it. So as long as they're not just all clumping up together, I'm leaving them like that. So now I'm going to just close up my notebook ring here. All right, and now I'm going to just see, is everything even? Is it where I want it? So let's see. I know it's hard for you to see when I hold it up like this, but I'll lay it down in just a second. I just want to kind of even things up here. Make sure nothing's too long. Like here's a long, let's see, I must have a short one over here somewhere because that one's really long. This is a little long too. So let me see. That would be this. And let's see what else looks kind of short here. Let me divide it in half and see where my halves are. Okay, so yeah, let's pull this over. Let's see how that does. Okay, I have a little bit of a long piece of fabric here. And I can always trim it. I just want to, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to trim it if I don't have to because I don't want it too, you know, real short on one side and then long on the other. So I'm trying to see where this is going here. I feel like, okay, let me just lay it down here real quick. See this one right here? Okay, does this connect? I'm trying to see where this connects because this seems like I need to even these up. Okay, so here that connects, and that looks like, let me pull that one over, and here is the other one under here. This is the one that seems like it's too long on this side and too short. Here it is. Okay, now let me pull that over. There we go. See, this is how, apparently this is what you have to do. Make sure everything is even where you want it. Okay, now, I think my notebook ring is in the middle. Let me pick it up again and see how we look. I'd like to check out my beads and my buttons now. Let's see. Okay, here's my beads. Okay, they're good. Now the buttons. Because I know I didn't make the buttons too long. I made the bead strand a little bit longer, which is fine. I just want them to be even though on both sides, so. Okay. Beads and buttons, beads and buttons. Okay, here is my buttons. Yeah, see, that needs to be pulled over. All right, I'm glad I did that. Okay. And I do have a knot at the end of those strands so they don't just fall off, right? That's how I'm doing that. Okay, so now to finish it off is what I'm doing is, I might cut that off a little bit. Okay, so what I'm doing, I have another strand of the natural cord this week. And I'm going to, this time I'm going to tie it, but I'm going to wrap it around a little bit. I made this extra long. So, I'm going to go ahead and start my knot, my first knot, and see how that comes out. And it's being tied just under the notebook ring. Okay, and I'm not going to pull it just tight right now. I want to pull this down a little bit more and make sure it's tight. Okay, let's go ahead and make this tight. And okay, let's even this up a little bit. See that I didn't get it quite even. Okay, now let's tie our knot again. I think I have it even now. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to pull that tight, all that fabric and everything that's in there, all the trims. Tie my knot, and this time, last week I didn't wind it around. I just did a couple of knots, which is fine. But this week I wanted to try winding it around a little bit and make a little bit more of a, you know, little decorative top here. So that one is wound that side, and I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. I'm going to keep this tight and wind the other side. And these strands are going to add to my tassel also when they hang down. So we've got that nice and tight, and I think it looks pretty with it wound around like that several times. And then this is just going to be a tight knot here. And it's pretty, I'm tying it pretty tight because I don't want it to come loose or anything. And I'm going to tie a double knot. Okay. So there we go. It's hanging. The rest of it's just going to let it hang down. And it's pretty much finished. I did make a little thing to hang off the top here this week. This is a bronze colored lobster claw clasp that I picked up at, no, this I got in Happy Mail from Dale McBay. And this little cross she sent me too, and this little owl. That's right, she sent me all these pieces. And this is probably from Broken Jewelry or something, because I don't think it works or anything. But it's a little owl clock. There's a little clock in here. Isn't that cute? Yeah, I've had it probably, when was that? Maybe about a year ago that Dale sent me some Happy Mail. And she is not too shabby chic on YouTube. And I will link her below just so you can go check out her channel. But isn't this cute? I've had it in my stash and I didn't know what I was going to do with it when I thought of doing a fall tassel. I thought this would be the perfect thing to hang from the top. So I did add, it had this jump ring on it and it had this one on it. So I took it, I opened this one up. Now this jump ring was hanging on here actually, on this lobster claw clasp. It was in here. So I took it off of there and put it down here, around here, because I needed a little bit of length in there. Then I added this little bronze cross. So we've got a nice little owl, a little cross charm, all hanging from this nice lobster claw clasp. It's a beauty. And then that's just going to hang right there on our tassel, on our fall tassel. And I think it turned out really pretty. This one, last week's was quite a bit longer than this one, so I wanted to try, I wanted it to still have some length, but not as long as the one. I wanted to try to make a little bit shorter one this week. So I'll tell you how long this one is. I'm just measuring from the bottom of the notebook ring down, or from the top, I'll measure from here, this top of this fabric down. So let's see how long this one is. I would say this one is basically 9 inches long. I think last week it was 15 inches long. Last week was a beauty. I thought it was really pretty, and this one is nice and pretty too. So yeah, I got to use some of that new fabric from Jovi, and then all my other ribbons and eyelash trims there, and some beads and buttons. And this is a good way to use up some scrap fabric, or just some fabric and trims that you maybe been hanging out in your craft room too long and you want to use them up. Make yourself a tassel. It can be any color or any length. So hope you enjoyed that one, and I will see y'all next week on what are we calling it? Tassel Tuesday. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting.